Good morning and welcome to Tuesday morning intuitive chat with Leanne and Ros. Ros will be here in a second. We're just having a couple of little technical difficulties as Ros is in Meningie today and is on different equipment. So I'm just resending her the link again and hopefully we will get Ros into the chat in a moment. So welcome everybody. I can see people are coming on already. So we have Shaktia here as well. The beautiful Shirley is here. Good morning, gorgeous. Don't forget to hashtag and let us know where you're watching from as well. So I hope you all had a really lovely weekend and the beginning of the new week. So as I said, Ros will be joining us very shortly. Shakti, it definitely is Mercury retrograde. Now, it's interesting you say that because I think we've had nothing in retrograde for, if off the top of my head, I think it's about 8 weeks. It has been really crazy, or it could even be 6 weeks, but we are going to start seeing that more in the next few weeks. Excuse me, in the next couple of days, where we are going to feel technology, the shift of energy and stuff that is going on very much at the moment. So yeah, I thought it was something like that. It's been unusual because I know last year with everything that we had in retrograde and all the planets and the movement that we had going on, it had been 30 years since we had really had any intense stuff like that. So last year I can understand why we were really feeling it as well. What was that, Ros? Yep, Ros is starting to come up now, so I'm just waiting for her picture to load. There we go. Here she is. So we will bring her up. It feels weird starting the show without you, Ros.
It feels weird not being the one starting the show.
Well, you can have the floor now.
Yeah, the process, I've got to turn off the iPad now because it's very distracting watching it in delay.
Yeah.
Look, I tried doing a Be Live just to YouTube yesterday to test out the PC laptop that I've got here. And because I didn't bring my webcams, I've done it with a webcam, I think, on that PC particularly because it's in the background over there. But I forgot the webcams this time, and the little camera on the laptop itself doesn't work. So I couldn't do any of that on an actual laptop, which Be Live, when you're hosting, you have to have a laptop or a desktop. You can't do a Be Live from a mobile device to start one. So that's why, I did yell out to you to start it, which we are. So great seeing everybody here. One of the things that I can't see on this mobile phone is I can't see Leanne. I can't see any of the chat stream. Oh, something did just pop up then. Did you
I just
show
put up
one
a
up on
comment.
screen?
Yeah, I
Now I
did.
can see those, but I can't see the actual chat stream like we normally have in that back end. And so
I'm in control of the mouse this time.
yes, you are. So all I've got is a blank screen on the top half. It's just all black. I can see how many are watching, and down the bottom I can see me. And as you're putting those comments up, I can see them. So probably what I could do is actually still put my laptop, my mobile on with muted and saying, how do I get the comments showing up? Oh, I see, I can't even do that properly. Look, technology is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, as
But
Shakti said,
there's,
we're in Mercury retrograde
yeah,
now
we are
too.
now.
So
Yeah, yeah, we are. And it's interesting too that, even though we've got the wonderful technology, it still has limitations. So, I mean, we can't have the perfect world without things wanting to be different, wanting to be improved, wanting something to change. And, usually we do have a topic. I haven't even thought of anything that I've wanted to chat about, but gee, change is one of those things that we probably could talk about. I've got
definitely.
so, I'm still in the process. Every morning when I'm doing my readings, it's still, as in that 5-card spread that I do at 8 o'clock, mostly around 8 o'clock. This morning's was late. I slept in. Really
Don't
slept
blame
in.
you.
I was just dead to
I
the world until I woke up at 8:15, not knowing the time, went down as I normally do and saw the clock and thought, oh my giddy aunt, I've missed my timeline for the live and everything. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah.
what it was.
I'm wondering if it's a bit to do with the energy. Like I know I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, but I'm really
Yeah.
tired. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning, took my daughter to the bus, come back to bed, and slept for an hour. And then went, oh my god, I've got to be live with Roz. And it was 9 o'clock, so I must gone in
Oh,
deep
look,
sleep.
yeah, I
We
understand
had a
that. I
bit
mean,
of it.
oh, my sound's gone. I can't hear you.
Oh, oh, you're
Oh,
right. Can
there
you
it
hear me
come
now?
back again.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's the
It may
retrograde
have been because
happening.
I.
Technology.
It might have been because I stopped talking because I thought you were going to talk.
No, 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 you're in the middle of a
You're
sentence. And what
watching.
I'm
Oh,
getting,
okay. I was just going
I
to
am. I'm
say,
watching the lips move, but that's delayed. I've got to turn that off because it's
yeah,
distracting me. I can't do
it
it.
really is, isn't
Um,
it?
yeah, the just the time it takes to do some stuff, and because like with the, I've got to get. I should have put my hair back. With the sorting through stuff and taking time to do that, it's taking a long time. And I'm dawdling because there's some part of me that doesn't want to go through some of that process, doesn't really want to go through change because it is, for me, it's going back to where I was. I know where I'm going. I know I've been there before as far as living back at Port Elliot goes. It's been my previous home and it feels, it's almost feeling like the end of not time, but a time of where I felt like I was, well, I suppose I was in some respects in a different world. Once dad had passed, looking after mum, once mum had passed, being
Yeah,
here for security because that's what was present at the time. That was the decisions I made at the time. And now deciding I'm moving back to where I was, it's taking time. And it brings back that matter of, time and change, and not any one second that we have is the same as the last
yeah.
because, the time span that we're measuring as a second, when you get into nanoseconds and quantum physics and trying to understand a lot of that, time's irrelevant, but we still live through a space that we call time because
Yeah.
how else can we understand it, you know?
Oh, I don't think
And
there is any other way.
and as far as how busy you are, because you've been flat out doing so much, I don't know how you fit it all in personally.
I
Knowing some
honestly
of
don't know how the
how
body is.
well, it's not just the face of what you're doing. Where people see you and
Yeah.
know that, oh wow, you are doing a lot of things. You've got those fringe events on, and it's not just when you're there, it's the amount of background
Mm,
preparation, planning and work that goes into it that I'm just so amazed at how much you're doing and you're
yeah.
able to cope with that, with what your body uh, sometimes doesn't allow you because of that. It's the
Yeah.
not
Fib-
chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia,
it's
isn't it?
like that. It's
Probably
fibromyalgia. So
that
same
thing.
sort of thing,
Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I wouldn't say that I've got any sort. Well, I mean, we each go through our own challenges, really,
We do.
and
Yeah.
it's recognize. I think it's for me. The cards this morning was something that I sort of felt, oh, don't quite like these, especially having the snake in the middle. And I sort of was hesitating around how the hell do I interpret that? It just felt like I couldn't quite finish, and that's how I interpret it. That it was there as that infinity because I was. It's the
Yeah.
Lenormand ones I'm using, and it
Yeah.
was there as that infinity, not quite completed, and even my words were stuttering, as in I couldn't get the thoughts together to actually express
Mm.
it. But we just still moved through it, and I was able to complete the reading. It actually, well, I suppose in my head, I don't think of it in my head. I just do.
Sure.
Oh, it's hard to explain, isn't it? You just get
Yeah.
what words are coming out, and they
It,
come out, and you present, and that's what you do.
yeah.
You do that
That's
in
it.
your platform work. I
Yeah.
suppose at the moment I'm still just learning that in doing the card readings, public
Yeah.
card
And
readings, you know?
I guess probably the way that I explain it, and it might not always be the right way, but this is just my wording. It's kind of that knowing without knowing. And for me, like when I'm on
Mm,
stage, and I think where Roz is going and heading down that track with it is, it's kind of like we just open our mouths and the words come out. We're
yeah,
not actually thinking. Our brain isn't thinking about what we're going to process like I am now. It's just that
yeah,
it comes in, we know, we open our mouth, the information comes out the way it needs to come out. So it is a very strange thing when you start doing it. I remember when I got to that point where I
mm,
just opened my mouth and the words started to fall out. I'd sort of gone from a time period where I was working on channeling and giving the information, but I would stop and have a lot of the time. And you see a lot of people do it at times. They will close their eyes to think about and make that connection, that communication. So they've got it in their head.
yeah,
They know what they're saying. I remember going through a period I didn't have a reading for about 2 weeks. Either I'd closed my calendar off or something had happened. I don't know. I can't remember back then
mm.
exactly what it was. But I remember a client booking in and I'm thinking, oh my God, I haven't felt spirit. What's going on? They've moved. They've left me. I've got a client. I went into panic mode. And I just went, I've got to
Yes,
trust this. I've got to trust this. I know I can do it. And I
yeah,
walked in, sat the client down, started the reading by explaining what I did. And it just kept flowing out. And it's like, I'm not
mm,
stopping. I'm not thinking. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I'm not having to
yeah,
make that physical connection like I used to. So I just put it down to my vibrations had changed, my energy had changed. And I think we all go through changes, not just spiritually, but in our lives where things just start to flow. It's that trust and
oh
surrender.
yeah, yeah. Look, it was, and I suppose really the first time that I'd actually experienced that for myself, it was nothing to do with psychic mediumship, I tell you.
Yeah.
It was something that I probably didn't even recognize as guidance or spirit giving me the words at that time. I suppose I did, but at that time it was the Holy Spirit. I had quite a few years in my younger years where I was actually doing lay preaching in our local parish here at Menengi. I absolutely loved it. Up to a point, I mean, there was that preparation, and that's more of that recognition of preparation and being ready, and you know, having that planning and that done to write a full service, you know, do the order of service, and then it was the choosing the hymns. That's the part I loved most about it. But then having written a sermon, sometimes I'd write it all out and read it, and other times I'd just do notes because I didn't feel comfortable with fully writing out whatever it was I was preparing for the scripture readings and the rest. And I'd go into it. You know, there was 2 or 3 churches. Was it one or two? Probably two, one after the other. That I'd do like that when I was in that. In that space. You'd get in, you'd stand behind the lectern. The first few times that I had done it, it was read out and it felt stilted. But those times where I'd just done the notes, and yes, the
Mm,
knees would knock and wonder what was I going to say. And then after the set, I had totally no recall really of what it actually
mm,
was I spoke. It was, I'd start, there was the note, and I'd start to speak. And after that, it really was that there was a flow, and
yeah.
it gelled, it flowed. And then afterwards, you know, at the door, you'd shake hands. Gee, that was really good. And the rest, and I had no idea what I'd said.
It's a weird
Honestly,
feeling,
it
isn't
was
it?
just it was out, and that's where I
Yeah.
recognise probably now that, you know, with having met you and taken up a few more studies myself as well over that time into, well, self growth, self development, but into what I feel is the spirituality rather than religion. And it's
Mm,
been, oh, a really great discovery. But it's little things like that that if we look back at what some of our
mhm.
past experiences have been of that type, we can actually realize, hey, we do have that channeling ability, whether we know it or not. We just haven't
Yeah.
recognized it as being that. Because I see it is probably something that, well, you know, if we want to put a label to it, it is a form of channeling, isn't it?
Yeah, it pretty much is. I always put it down to it's our intuition sort of thing. And when
Mm,
we're intuitive, we open ourselves up to that communication sort of thing. And a lot
yeah,
of we are all intuitive on a one level or another. It's just things in life that can block that, beliefs, habits, whatever. But sometimes it's
pre-programming.
just, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
parental. Yeah.
Definitely. That's it, because everything impacts us. But, it's just a matter of fine tuning that and listening. So, sometimes
Mm,
I explain it to people. It's like having that gut feeling. You just get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, and you know something's not right, or something's coming up, or something's going to happen in that way. It's trusting that. I said to
mm,
somebody
yeah,
yesterday, our body is a brilliant gauge. We're like human
yeah.
pendulums sort of thing when we start to listen to what's going on in the body. Aye.
Yeah, hey, that you took when you said that, it took me back to the time. Oh, am I using my hands again? um,
You got
when you
excited
said
about
that,
it.
yeah, look, oh, I'm not. It was, oh, gee, years ago. I can't remember which of those courses I've done since. And a lot of this has happened since I've moved on from a marriage and then went through that process of divorce and the rest. I was trying to find myself. Was I trying to find myself? I actually was, because in the identity that I had of a very young mother and helping to grow a business at the time that we did very successfully. It's still going, just not with me there. It's all of that connection in with just being a mother, a wife, a business partner, and being so busy and tight in that, and then volunteer ambulance officer, and being involved in community and the lay preaching at the times that I did that, and all the rest of it. It gets so tied up in an identity that is actually feeling like at some point someone else. And
Yeah.
I did need to move on from that because of various reasons, but it's still finding out, once you've broken that bond there, that lifestyle and life habits and learnings, that I needed to learn something else. Oh, not needed to learn something else, needed to learn who I was in that. What labels was I going to give myself now effectively? And then I realised I don't have to have labels. It really goes back to
Yeah.
that the smallest verse that's actually in the Bible itself is actually I am. I'm pretty sure it is. I've looked it up.
It's been
At
a little
some
while
point,
since
there's
you
been,
looked.
oh, well, it has been, yes, I must admit. I
uh,
still have a Bible floating around somewhere. I'll find it when I pack up everything.
yeah.
Whether it's here, well, there's certainly some here, because Dad himself was a lay preacher for 50 or 60 years himself. So, there's been a bit of a history on that. It's
Yeah.
the it's the discovering I am, and that's all it needs to be. So,
Yeah.
in that, realizing, oh, well, all of that, it actually, and connecting into that spiritual, and finding that being that pendulum, a lot of it's about balance and understanding who we are and
Yeah.
everything. And you saying pendulum, I used to be in the, with that kinesiology, you can use different ways you do your muscle testing. So
Yep.
I'd be in the supermarket, and just, one of those times I needed to watch what I was eating because I'd got too fat, blah, blah, blah. Give up on that, peoples. Just be who you are. I'd be there, and I'd be like this, just, should I be eating this? And finding that, doing it almost like a pendulum until it felt like, now, if it felt like it was right, and I was standing like that in front of these foods I was testing, and not feeling like I was wanting to go backwards or forwards,
Yeah.
because I used that as my tester. Yes was
That's
forwards,
it.
no was back, and it was just like, once I'd found that testing mechanism and that balance, I was like a living pendulum in front of the food cases in a supermarket. Anyone watching would have thought I was goony, but there's
mm.
so many ways that we can actually check in on ourselves to be the who we are and what we need.
Well, that's it.
That's
Exactly.
why that's why that
It's
came up. I'm sure, a reminder to
it's
do that.
That's it. And that's the thing. We can set something and ask for signs from spirit. That was me vibrating.
Mm. Well, I was
My daughter,
looking for mine and I thought, no, the phone's not vibrating, otherwise I'd be like that,
yeah, I haven't heard from my daughter for a little while now. When I'm live, she decides to ring. Um,
Oh,
but
yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
can. We can ask for signs for spirit and set our intentions to what that sign is. And then,
yeah,
ask that question and say, I've got a broken pendulum here, but it'll still give you the same idea. So you just ask for like
yeah,
a yes. So show me a yes. So my yes is back and forth. Okay, you can start to see that moving. Stop, show me a no, side to side. So you can do the same things like that. Okay.
yeah,
You could use a ring, you could use a necklace. It doesn't necessarily have to be a pendulum. For me, when
yeah,
I'm like Friday night doing my live show, I'm talking to a couple of sisters channeling their dad, and all of a sudden I'm swaying like I'm swaying to the music and ready to do the nice flowy dance sort of thing. So,
yeah,
it's taking notice of what your body does in that way.
yeah.
So, yeah,
And that's
well,
also it's being in tune with our body and knowing it well. So
yeah,
that we've lost that connection with ourself as well.
yeah,
A lot
that's
of
it.
people have. Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
for sure. Now we've got a few comments here, questions. I have been putting up the hello, so hello to everybody. So when
Yeah.
Roz is ready, I'll start bringing up the questions. So
Oh, yeah,
and we can
yeah.
work our way through that.
No, that's
Yeah.
fine. Just a comment on the pendulum too. It can be just a nut. You know how you have your nuts and bolts. It can be
Mm,
just a nut on the piece of a string.
yep.
That's as simple as you can have
Exactly.
as a pendulum.
Well,
Yeah.
you think about it.
And the
Years
other
ago,
thing,
they used to do a piece of hair with a wedding ring. Boy or
yeah,
girl. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. The other thing that
yeah.
I've been using as well that looks a little bit less obvious, if you're really needing to know too, is the kinesiology one of using the hand and this one to pull it apart so that with your yes it doesn't, and if it's no, it pulls apart easily. That's
Yeah.
just another little quick one. Ask someone that's a kinesiologist, they'll tell you.
That's
Yeah,
it, exactly.
yeah.
All right, so let's go back up to the top. So we'll jump on the first question because we have gone through those hellos. So first up is Shakti. Do you please know the eye color or profession of my future husband? Has he been married before? Thank you so much. There's a couple of
Oh,
questions in that
goodness.
one. Also, we have forgotten to touch on if you are watching from any other page, please jump over to the My Time link in above the, I guess, on the
Mm,
video on your phones. It's all above as well, so we can actually
yeah.
see your comments in there because we are cross-posted to a few different pages as well.
And
So if you're not
that's
getting answered
something.
or knowledge, you're on the wrong page. All right. Did you want to take that one?
Oh, cute! I just put my phone, I put my iPad back on just to see. Can I share it? Because you reminded me I haven't
Oh,
even shared this out to my page. I
I
got a
did.
green blue. I got. Oh, good. Did you share it to my page?
I did it to
As in the
Rosbeth's
profile,
holistic.
Rosban.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever's on
Oh, good.
the
That's
the
all right.
list with your name on it, I did it.
That's good. Okay, good. No, I got a green blue type of colour. It was switching between
Mm.
as far as the eye colour goes. Look, profession, I have no idea. Certainly an older man that came up. Can you see that? So I did
Yeah,
get the older
certainly
card
can.
as I split the deck. So he's older. As far as what age? Look, no, I'm not getting anything on that. Are you? Because I'm not good with the number stuff. Married
Uh,
before? No, not
no,
what I'm getting.
I got no to that. I got a bluish colour eye as well, and I don't feel married, but I want to say probably 4 or 5 years older than you. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I was being
So
drawn to. Okay, Tash is. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I was just trying to work out what somebody's sentence was there. Tash says, "Will my kids have? Will my kids have okay with the separation, please?
oh,
I'm happy with the choice. Worried for the kids. I think they'll be okay. I'm drawn to
mm.
communication, so have them talk to them, get them to open up about how they're feeling, and I feel that'll be okay.
Can you hear me shuffling the cards very loudly, or
Slightly,
is
it's
it
not
not?
too loud.
Mm. I sort of can wrap my arms around. No, that doesn't work. Wrap my arms and then I go really close to the camera.
We could do it
You
at the
should
same
actually,
time.
yeah, well, you should actually see the setup. I'll actually take a photo of this afterwards and post it so that you people can actually see what I've rigged to be able to do this live stream today with Leanne.
It's
Yeah,
amazing what we do because my camera is sitting on one, two, three decks of cards and a roller stuck to one deck with a camera on top of it.
yeah, we do come up with some interesting
Mm,
methods of getting around stuff, and that's the card that I've pulled for you there. It is the mountains, but I think it's just a matter, and that is to do with the different blocks and different pathways you might need to take around the communication side of it. It's not going to be all roses, but it's certainly going to be able to be worked through, and just keep that communication line really well open with them. Yeah,
beautiful.
and the ex as well, you know,
Yeah, that's
or
it.
your
Exactly.
partner that you're moving from. Yeah.
Yeah. And we've got
Morning, Tamara.
Tamara. She says, "Hi, Rosalind. Can I have a card, please?"
Right. So, Tamara, whoopsie. I wonder if the
They're jumping
cord's long
out.
enough. It fell on the floor. Hang on. It just flew out.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
The cord to my
Oh,
headset is long enough. So, I've just got to find the right part. You've got the park, which is about getting out into nature and actually enjoying times. Imagine the things that you actually do in a park. It frees up, it gives you that fresh air. It's a new perspective because you're actually out and moving in nature, that connection with what is the spirit. What are they called? Uh, the little, they're not the fairies, but they are in that realm of the fairy dimension. Now I can't remember the name. It
I've gone
starts with an
blank too.
N. Yeah, it starts with an N. So they're ready to play with you. So that's what I'm getting from that one. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful, excellent. And next we've got Emily. She says, "Hi, ladies. I've currently got a new job. Congratulations, honey. How does the future look for me? I think it's going to be great, honey." And I was actually drawn reading that question to looking at the new people that are going to come into your life.
Yeah. And there's things to be aware of, like the assistance, the help that you're going to have in the background with that job. I'm trying to find where the angle is right. The tree of life, there's many branches and deep roots. So even for those times, it creates a solidity, it creates a permanence, and it's with trees. Who wants to cut them down besides stupid developers wanting to make profit and money? But it's that once they're starting to grow and develop and get that good foundation of the good deep roots and the rest, it's just the flourishing. So that's what I'm feeling for you
Yeah, beautiful.
in that
Next
one.
we have the lovely Kellyanne. Morning, lovely ladies. Morning, lovelies. Oh God, I can't even read. See, I've got brain fog today.
All right. Morning, love. I'll read it for you if you like, because
Thank
I can
you.
actually see that
You can see it
clearly.
now. Beautiful.
I can see the comments, and it's actually quite clear because I'm the right distance from the camera too. So, morning, lovelies. I'm having some issues with my ex. Are we safe? As have had some intimidating things going on. Do oh I'm feeling alert the police to the potential. If that's how uncomfortable you're feeling, is what my sense around it is. Do let them know what's going on, because as far as I'm aware, they can't act unless there's actual violence in
Yeah.
process, can they? Yeah. Here's
But
me
at
being
this,
distracted
yeah.
looking at your vision over there. Sorry about that.
That's so good. I'm pretty sure Roz is right with that, but at least if they've got a report that there has been some unsettling energy sort of thing, they will, like when something does come up, they will sort of look at it better or closer in that sense. Okay. So
At least they're a bit pre-warned.
yeah, that's it. I kind of feel like be alert, but I don't quite get the warning bells go off at the moment. It's more about just being sort of on the edge a little bit, or more, I shouldn't say on the edge, more aware of the situation and look at the bigger picture. Okay,
Yeah. I also
beautiful.
pulled that card, which is Tower. Just go where your focus is on that one. But it can mean government and government departments. So talk to the right government departments if you need to as well, whether it's Centrelink or some of those other places. See, I don't know them because I've never had that sort of experience myself. The only one
Yeah.
I've had is with Centrelink to do with carers' pension for my mum. So, really,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, also, honey, with that one, I want to say, look at that bigger picture. See him out of your life. Try not to give him the energy. Be aware of what's going on around you, but don't try to give him the energy of the focus, because that's what he's going to feed on. If you're sort of moving on and he's not getting that, he's not able to distract you in that way, he's going to get fed up with that. Okay. All right. So just protect your energy. Put yourself in that bubble, that protection. Reflect any energy back at him so you're not taking it on. All right. Okay. Next we have Charlie. Good morning. Do you have any messages for me regarding my relationship at all? I like all the little emojis.
Yeah.
I'm picking up on tension.
It's funny you said that because I'm trying to word why it feels like a tension headache, or I don't think I can use the word head here. So it just felt like that. That was my first instinct. I'm thinking, how do I say that politely here?
You do well.
Is he an older man? I've got that card up again.
Oh, wow. And the 28 is a 1, which is new beginnings as well. When you break the numerology down, that's what stuck out to me. I'm getting tension between my shoulder blades because I feel like it's weighing heavy on you at the moment, honey. So I want to say at the base of the neck, across that top area where the collarbone is, picture that around your spine at the back. You need to speak up a little bit in the relationship. So I just feel like there's a bit of tension in there at the moment. Communication is going to help. Okay.
And peace is coming around that too. Okay. But I pulled that after you said communication, so that was sitting on top.
Perfect. All right. So Shakti would love to ask if you can. Oh God,
I think we've done that one.
Oh yes, sorry, we have.
I remember we've done this one. It was the first one because there was more than one question in it.
I think we've pulled a card for tomorrow too.
Yeah. Oh, you having that scrolling do the thing? Yeah, I think you have.
No, I'm actually having trouble with my eyes. My fibromyalgia is in heightened today, so all my skin, everything is just feeling And
there's another quick card for tomorrow to add if we haven't done that before. Okay,
yeah,
that's heart. So do be placing yourself from the heart in whatever way you need to.
Beautiful. Yep. Excellent. All right. Maybe I need to look on the bigger messages on the screen rather than the small one.
Well, it's funny
because when my eyesight goes, that's my fibro kicking off.
Yeah. What colour is it showing on your side there, Leanne, as far as the comment background? What comment you're seeing? What's it showing? Red, is it?
Oh, their name's in red. The rest is in white.
White with black type. See, what I'm getting on my Samsung mobile phone, so I'm on an Android, it's showing up with white on the orange background for the comments in my section. So I'm actually able to read them really easily.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm liking that. Maybe they should change it to that when it's on the screen for the Be Live. Put a suggestion in.
I reckon that's it. All right. So Shauna says, hello, ladies. Have a wonderful day. Just seeing if you have a message regarding my relationship. I get a bit of excitement building around that. No, it's a different one.
Yeah. It's hard because so many of the questions can seem so similar and the names can be so similar because I'm not always reading the names. So with your relationship, be careful. What I'm getting is be careful of having the mask up, putting across someone whom you're not with your partner, so that with you, it can be very exciting in playing that game to start with. When you is it a new relationship, and even feeling that, like you said, excitement, Leanne, that's where I feel the excitement. It's almost like those parties that they used to have those things up,
Yeah.
but you've got the masks on, the
Yeah.
beautiful masks that you can see in some stores. But
Um,
do remember, you need to be you, be that I
mm.
am with who your partner is, and that even goes into it really goes into the heart and the depth of what your partnership, what your relationship will be.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, we have the lovely Marianne here. She says, "Hi, ladies. My mum's 35th death anniversary tomorrow passed when I was young teenager. Any messages? Lots of decisions with job, moving in, moving. Is she proud? I get yes,
Moving and
honey.
issue proud, yeah.
When I started reading your comment, I got a very lovely smile, very warm, loving smile. So you've felt her with you ever since. So to me, she is still very much around you. Okay."
And there's a travelling card for you. So is that one of the decisions? Or is it the moving? That could be the moving, packing up and completely moving too.
And I
Being,
always like
being the
with that
shift.
one, I got notice
Yeah.
to the direction it's heading, so I feel like you're heading forward too. So you can, look at that in a couple of different ways. So exciting things coming, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
Tara says, "Good morning, ladies. Can you see what my future partner looks like? Tall, dark, and handsome." That just rolled out, didn't it?
Oh, sorry. And I straight away got a picture of a gypsy fortune teller in that one. But
I
potentially,
love it.
yes.
Yeah. My feeling is he's going to be a little bit different than the normal person that you would go for. So I want to say just open your heart up, because I feel there's some blocks around your heart at the moment. Okay. Certainly going to be taller than you. Okay. Dark and handsome. All
Ooh.
right. Oh,
And I think a
sorry.
very intelligent bloke, just on that one, because that card came up the books.
There we go.
So noted.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Taurus, all
Karina
right, who are
says,
you on?
"Good morning,
Morning,
ladies. Would
ladies.
love a card, please." I'm actually drawn to the male in your photo, honey. I get the feeling he's a bit of a character, a bit cheeky.
Oh, see that I can't see all that well.
That's tiny.
It is on the mobile. I'm trying to see it on the iPad too. Um, that's the card that came up. It's coffin, but it doesn't necessarily mean death. It does mean, however, something in your life is going to be moving on. And I'm just thinking it actually feels like an old belief that you've held for a long time. There's something you've been undecided about that you're going to need to shift it, let it go, almost to the point of doing a little ceremony around burying it, sending it off. That's what I'm feeling with that one. So
Okay.
it's something you've been wanting to shift but haven't been able to. Well, do that.
Yeah. All right. So Taylor is next. She says, "Hi, ladies. Would love to hear a message from my nephew, please." Okay. All of a sudden, reading that, I got the very heaviness across the chest, the lungs, the heart, the breathing sort of side of it. So I want to look at what happened there as well with him. I get a very loving energy, and I need to acknowledge the number 7 around you. So whether I'm looking on the 7th of the month, or I'm looking at July, or there's patterns in the 7, I just get acknowledged the 7. I also feel like I'm looking at relationship as well. So what is the change in relationship for you? So if you're in a relationship, I feel like I've got change, like an energy shift in that. Or you've got relationship coming in front of you at the moment, but I get focus on that. He keeps tickling the back of my head, and it's funny because while Ros was drawing a card for Karina, he was very much playing in my head trying to get my attention. So you might find you get that tickle to the head at times. Please know that is his energy with you. I get love and pride that comes through for you, but I also feel he is very much at peace too. And he says that's important for my family to know. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Mm.
anything else you need to add to that, Ros?
No, not for this one. I don't feel the cards for this,
Yep, perfect.
and I'm not getting anything else myself because I haven't tuned in
And that's the thing.
at that
Sometimes
level.
yeah, but it's funny though, because sometimes there's readings that Roz can be doing, and I just don't feel the need that I need to put anything forward. So they're
Mm,
content with what is there. So, and like when
mm,
we work, what I call piggyback like this on a reading, it's like we pick up
mm,
different personalities or different ways. Like part of that person's personality might resonate with Roz, but another part of it might resonate with me because of the way we
mm,
connect. So it's really
mm.
interesting to see like that.
It is, isn't
So
it?
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we've got the lovely Charlize. She says, anything for me, uh, prefer finance or family
Often,
related, please.
yeah.
Okay. I just feel around family there's a little bit of unsettled energy that's passing, that's going to move through quite quickly and things will get back on balance.
And
Mhm.
you've got the rider, and the
Ooh.
rider really is the start of the journey. And I'm feeling with the rainbow, there's all potential and possibilities. The rider is usually about a message, some important message. So whether there's something that's going, you'll be receiving a big news. I'm feeling it's actually big news about something coming up. I'm actually almost feeling like financially it's for a partnership of some sort that you've been in discussion with for some. Uh, it almost feels like product or shop or something like that. So, you know, if it's there, trust that feeling and move forward with it, and just make sure doing homework around it too. Yeah, so that's what the ride is about, the start of the journey.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just checking. We've got one here for Tara, but we have actually done a question for her, so I've just skipped over that. So what I'm trying to do is just focus on getting one per person at the moment. So
Oh
Josephine,
yeah.
hi ladies, how are you?
Do you want
Just
me to
wondering
do you
if
want me to read
yeah,
that one?
go for it.
Yeah, because I like talking. Oh, sorry,
You
I'm looking over at
can.
you on the iPad again.
I love it. It's all
Oh,
good.
sorry. Because it's nice and bright, and I like the little emoticon thingies on the bottom. It's so cute. So, hi, ladies, how are you? Just wondering if you see me buying a house this year and if there are any messages for me from past loved ones. So, I'm getting a yes as far as buying a house goes.
Hmm,
So,
I do too.
um, it almost feels south is the direction I'm facing. So whether it's south facing or you're moving south to buy it or whatever. So from where you are currently. So that's what that's what I'm getting for that one. Past loved ones, I'll hand that to Leanne. I'll check in
I
and out
get
again, aren't I? Yeah.
that's okay. And I'll let you off with that today. I get the
Thank you.
reference to a grandmother figure in spirit around you, honey, and I get a lot of pride and love. And she just makes reference to this is your year to shine. So to me, all those things that you've put your mind to and been working hard for are going to happen this year. All right. So well done. Okay, beautiful. Caitlin is just saying good morning to
Morning.
both of
Good morning,
us.
Caitlin. Yeah,
Excellent.
lovely.
Emma says, hi, ladies. Share the love. Wanting to know what messages Spirit has for me, please. Honey, and it's funny because I feel like I'm shuffling your life at the moment. So I feel like you're rearranging things. So whether you're just being a little bit fed up with the way things are
Mm.
being and you're being pushed to move forward, wanting more, I just get the reference to focusing on that. Okay.
And the tree came up as well for you, Emma.
Mm,
Um, so I'm just feeling feel your roots, get to know that whether it's the ancestry, have a bit of a dig into what your ancestry is and the type of people. See if you can discover that. It just feels like the roots are there, but it's just not.
mm,
There's a flow that's been blocked in that, and there's something you need to know about your ancestry to move you forward and up to those beautiful branches. So,
yeah.
um,
I think
yeah,
you're going to know yourself better this year too when Roz said that as
yeah,
well. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I think it's
beautiful.
part of the process is that, yeah. So,
Yeah.
cool.
Excellent. All right. We have Caitlin. She has hashtag general card reading, please.
Reading.
I lost my 2-year-old fur baby to a snake 3 weeks ago.
Snake.
My heart goes out to you, honey. And my fur baby, who's 4, and me are not coping. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sending you lots of love and healing there as well. I do feel that your fur baby is very much at peace. It was very quick, so I don't feel like suffered or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah. I was lucky enough, although lucky enough's probably not quite the word that you'd put to it at the time. It was the 11, 12 years ago. Anyway, I did have a Pomeranian that we were 1 week off putting the fence up around the yard in the backyard and having it contained so that the dogs wouldn't, so that she wouldn't get out, and the other dogs actually. But Molly was mine, and she saw someone across the road working in our depot. This is here at Menengi, and she did get hit. It was instant, and she died with the smile on her face. And one of the things, I ran straight over, but it was just dead instant. I didn't know she'd run over there. It was seeing that smile, just knowing she was moving to the happy place. She was going to a happy place. Even as that, where I was holding her, it was gut wrenching. But it was one of those weird things. It was only the week later that she was on my bed in spirit. She really did reconnect and just be open to your fur baby still being around you and with you and reconnecting. Whether you see that image of her actually with you, it would be wonderful that you do, but it was my experience that I saw Molly afterwards. Be open to it, even if it doesn't happen though, knowing that she's gone to a happy place. It's just, I just know for all of our fur babies, it's where they go. They know nothing different but happy places in their spirit. So that's just what I've got to contribute for that one.
It's actually quite funny because I love the timing of your comment like that, because just before we came live, I actually put a post up on my Leanne Winston Psychic page saying that, what are the signs that you see or remember that you notice that remind you of a past loved one, that we are just a vessel. We leave that energy imprint behind. So that post sort of gives a little bit more detail if anybody wants to have a look at that. But I do feel she is very much with you, sort of thing. So to me, you will, like Ross said, you're going to feel that. And it's funny because our cat went missing, and with about 4 days later, my husband's a bit of a skeptic, but even him and my 2 children we've seen the cat around in spirit. We thought that, she was at the window and stuff. And I still today, a year and a half later, still see her occasionally. I nearly tripped over her the other day, and the kids laughed. I went, "What's wrong?" And I went, Cuddles just ran across me. And I went, she's been gone for a while now. And I'm like, well, she still shot across the passageway like she did when we moved here.
Yeah.
So, it's so funny what they do.
Yeah, do get those moments still. Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Just know.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Exactly. And we have the lovely Diana here. Can I...
Diane.
Yeah, beautiful. Can I have your thoughts on Michael, my partner? I'm not sure what's going on. He's very much in his own head, very much a thinker. I feel like he's under a little bit of stress at the moment, but keeping everything very close to his chest. I feel like I'm drawn to his health. So whether he's noticing a little bit of a change and he's overthinking it, I get a lot of pressure being put on him.
Yeah, coughing again. So there's something that he needs to let go of. It can mean some slight pending ill health, but it's not. To me, that's not the death card just because it's a coffin card. It's things that are needing to move on and pass into wherever it needs to go. What's the card upside down there?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Emily. I think we've answered a question for you, honey, but I get yes to
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Nietzsche says, "Hi, ladies. Can I have a card, please? Love and light to you both." Oh, thank you,
Hi,
honey. Same to
Ninja.
you.
Just shuffling for you. Oh, I feel like I need to shuffle for longer. Why? Don't know. Is it less? Can you hear it less by having it shuffled further away from the microphone on the phone?
Yeah, a little bit less.
Oh dear. I just realised the closer I go, of course it's going to sound louder, but oh dear, there's Bear. Bear, good, solid, hardworking. You see what's above is smooth sailing and all the rest. Like when you see polars in their environment on those docos, you don't see them taking too much work, but you look at how much is actually below the surface. And it can be working not as much as like you expect a duck with their, with their, are they feet? Yeah, duck feet. Um,
Fins. Yeah.
with their webbed feet. Yeah, webbed feet.
That's it.
So
Web, not
with
fins.
yeah, with how the polar bear swims and moves, you sort of expect them to be more clumsy because of their size and everything. But in their own environment, they're actually perfectly suited to the way they're designed. Pretty much, they've got that fur that retards, reflects. Sorry, reflects the cold and all the rest and all the components of how their feet are so broad and wide to be able to swim and yet still walk easily on ice and not slip ass up all over the place. Although they have fun playing like that, you see the cubs doing that. It's that feeling of although there's a lot that you're needing to be doing, um, and the work side of it with the way that it looks easy on the surface, you're doing a lot underneath, but it's having that looking so smooth that your talents are actually being expressed. I'm almost feeling a perfection around them, but it's that the you don't have to be recognised for that part that goes on underneath. Just still
Yeah.
continue. It's feeling like continue in the flow that is,
Yeah.
because it's all coming naturally to you. Just continue in that and grow it, and continue in that and grow it. And you'll get the right timing happening when you're needing to actually expand and do something just that little bit different to add some excitement and challenge for you. Gee, that was a
Beautiful.
lot
Yeah,
from
it
me. Yeah,
was.
what did I say? Yeah.
But while you're
I'll
on a
have to watch
roll,
the replay for that bit.
and that's
Yeah,
what we were talking about earlier, the words just flow,
yeah,
don't they? So, and
yeah, yeah.
they're not our
No
words to
card
hold on
needed.
to.
It's like, oh, well, there was. It was around the bear, but that's what, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
it.
got a lot to do with, how I do the readings in the mornings is I've been doing the Lenormand cards now for it's coming up to the year where it's been the live streaming. Not
Wow.
absolutely every day, but it nearly has been every day. And you do become familiar with what is a deck that you might choose. So if you are actually interested in cards, just choose the deck that you're guided to
Mhm.
and work with it over time. And even though, like I've only read the guidebook through once. It was when I first opened it. I wanted to just read it. Then I knew I'd done that. And the rest is just using your intuition. And every time there's different meaning comes up from the cards than what's actually in the book. Go with
Mhm.
your own intuition with it. So that's just an extra bit that I'll add there as well.
Yeah, for
Sorry,
sure.
because I can see we're sort of coming up to
That's
the end of
it.
our hour. So yeah.
Yep. Oh, we've done
Mm,
Caitlin. Sorry, honey. She was one with the dog. Emily, we've done
mm.
you. Sober. I'm not so Is that how we say that? Do you either of
Siobhan.
you feel or see
No,
me? Siobhan.
yeah, I think that's pronounced
Sorry,
Siobhan, right?
honey.
So,
Yeah, my
yeah.
pronunciations with names are way out.
Well, I think it's Irish, and I do have an Irish son-in-law, so I've become a little more familiar with some of the pronunciations of some of the spellings
Yeah,
because,
right.
yeah, they're interesting. I mean, Eamon, who is one of my grandsons, his name's spelled
Mm,
Eamon, but it's not pronounced
Yeah.
Eamon, it's Eamon. So,
Amen. Yeah.
yeah. So, hi,
Beautiful.
Siobhan.
All right. This is a bit of a general question. Do you feel, or do either of you feel or see?
Or see me. I'm wondering if
Okay,
she was on one of the other pages and was
she
commenting, and
might have
they've just
been.
popped over.
Yeah.
So I have
So
already got
welcome,
a
honey.
card out. It's the younger man. So whether you have a son, I'm just feeling that there is a really deep connection with this younger man. And
Mm,
I'm just feeling too that it is a communication thing. There's something not quite happening with that needs some finessing, just a
yeah.
little bit of tweaking.
I
Yeah.
had to laugh when you
That,
said that because for that whole time that since we've brought her question, like her comment up, I keep getting make sure you're listening. So whether you're not listening with the communication that has been spoken or you've got to start
mm,
taking more notice sort of thing. But I keep getting I'm drawn to the ear. My ear was throbbing that whole
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's
So
interesting because when yeah, I interrupt and say, "Can I say this one? I like talking," and it is. It just needs like I just need to butt in here again too, almost with some a little bit of topic, subject, or something, because there is more information. There's more we can learn actually
mm,
through silence, and it is that listening. It creates that balance. To be heard, we need to speak. But to be heard, there needs to be someone listening, and we need to reciprocate that because that creates that cycle of understanding. So
yeah,
I
for
just needed to add
sure.
that
Yeah,
because
I
I
love
was butting in.
it.
Yep,
You're allowed to, it's your
so
show.
that's that. Well, yeah, you got the controls.
It's
I'm not sure
really
how I like
weird, isn't it?
that.
No, it's strange. It really
it, it,
is.
it, it really is different being the guest on your own
Yeah,
show, honestly.
oh, for sure. And
Hi,
as much
Sarah. Whoops.
as much as I love doing the controls, it just feels really weird because I know, Tuesday mornings is Roz's show. Wednesday nights
Yeah,
mine to be in controls. So it
yeah.
just feels out of beautiful. Hey,
What
Sarah.
yeah. And what I ended up having fall out was actually the lily. And I thought, no, that was in one of the others. I'm going to shuffle them again for you, Sarah,
If it's
because
meant to be, it'll come back.
any messages or advice, well, I do need to get a card for it. It needs to be well shuffled, and let's see what turns out on top.
I'm bathing the lily again.
Oh, I've just got to laugh at that. So you're meant to have the lilies.
I love
So
her.
be at peace with yourself. There's time for reflection. I'm seeing the reflection in that back of that stained glass. It's like a reflection. It feels you need to be sussing out what's within and reflecting on that. Keep moving that forward. Spend time with yourself.
Yeah. And I get baby news
Have
this
that
year around
peace.
you, honey. So if it's not yours, it's very
Oh,
close to you. Okay. Excellent. Emily is just saying thank you very much. Well, we are just on out of time. We've actually gone over time.
yes,
Nothing
yes,
unusual, but yeah, there's still a lot of comments here as well. So we
yeah,
do apologise to those that we haven't got to. So it's just some thank yous.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you to everybody for being present here, for coming and joining us on our show that we do love doing, because I don't actually feel it is my show, even though I host it normally. It's an hour. We just love joining in and doing this together. I suppose the vibes just suit for how we work together. I don't know. I mean, and I love you, Leanne.
I
It's
love you
wonderful
too,
working
Roz.
with you doing these.
We
So
always have
I
a good
tried,
laugh.
yeah, I tried and tried my hardest to be on today. I couldn't
Yeah.
last week because I didn't
Mm,
actually have the borrowed dongle with the data on it, because these do take a lot of data to run a live stream of an hour. So I'm very fortunate this week to be able to come online. I'm so thankful that I was able to borrow this. It's one of those Optus box things with broadband on it, whatever they call them. I call it a dongle. So, um, there's so
Deep
much to be
lucky.
grateful for. Yeah, so much to be grateful for, and that we have the technology to be able to present as we do, and beautiful platforms to do it. BeLive's wonderful. I've been doing the morning one on StreamYard. It's another one. I use Ecamm when I'm back at my Mac. There's so many different ways to be able to actually be present with others in this live context, and it's global. So thank you very
Mhm.
much. I've got my booking button somewhere. It might not be in the links this time, or is it?
Oh,
Did
I
we
just
connect
copied
in
what
through
you
the
normally
event?
put up.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
So we each have our Facebook pages that you can actually book for readings with us. We each
Mm.
have our websites as well that are active, and you've got booking capabilities through there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, just go into my
Yeah,
website through my
yeah.
services or hit the book now
Yep,
button on Facebook. So,
yeah.
yeah,
So
beautiful.
thank you for being present, peoples. And
Yeah.
also just a reminder to respect times of when we need our time off too.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
if you're messaging, and both, I know that you're open to the messages, Leanne, communications via Messenger, etc. But be mindful of what time it might end up landing here. I've heard that we can actually time a time off that we don't receive them at night, but I'll talk to you
It's
about that
how
one
we
later,
work out how
Leanne.
to do that. That's
Yes,
it. And I
yes,
also I ask people not to inbox me for free questions. That we do. I'm
mm,
pretty sure Roz has got the same capability. For $45, you can book a one question reading. I do that
yeah,
reading. I email it back to you. So we do try. Well, I do try to focus my free time on these
mm,
live shows where we can connect and answer your questions. So outside of
yeah,
that, I do ask people to pay.
yeah,
Just one more thing. For those that are in the
yeah,
Adelaide area, I'm doing the Fringe events. I'm doing live shows on stage every Thursday and
yes,
Friday night, and you can buy tickets for a ridiculous
yeah,
price of $28 each.
yeah.
Or I am also
Great,
celebrating
great
because it is the
value.
first Fringe. Yeah, well, celebrating the first Fringe that I'm doing. If you
Yeah,
buy 5 tickets, there will be a sixth ticket at the door free for you. So if you've got 6 friends come along, get online to the Fringe ticketing text online and book
yeah,
your tickets there. Book 5.
yeah.
I can see on your booking sheet you've got 5 for that show. We will have a sixth at the door for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, great. And just when you mention you do email readings, I just want to mention that I've tended to, with any of the readings that I've been doing, I actually do the video recording version of them. Whether
Right.
you're invited, if you'd like to be invited in as like a one-to-one, that's how I do it. So you pretty much get like this as a reading recorded, and you get sent the link. So there's all different ways of being able to do them. Just check
Mm.
out our sites. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And it's up to you to control the button that says we're going.
Okay. Thanks for having me,
So,
Roz.
blessings, everyone. Be the best person that you can be. It's how I finish my mornings with the namaste. We are all spirit and connecting. So, we're each individual in the one whole. Behave like it. Honour that. I
All
had to add
right.
that. Why, I don't know. Feels like an old granny being an ogre. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.